Hello. Right. This video is about, I've just been doing some juicing lately. And it's been great. This is something I did years ago, but I've really got back into it. And really what got me back into it is I did an experiment. I did it on video. It's on my YouTube channel. Where we were using the tools, like the light coasters, the water tensor ring, and we were measuring the auric field, and we were measuring the energy flow, and the ormus in water. There was tap water, there was also spring water, and coffee. So that excited me, the results, and I don't know why it excited me, because I knew we were going to get those results, right? Because, you know, I live and breathe these products and this technology, and utilizing it with the water I drink and the food I eat and all these sorts of things. But I thought, hey, let's get back into juicing. I generally, on working days, you know, I'm work at a desk, right? So it's pretty stationary. So I don't need a huge amount of food, right? So I have my coffee in the morning, and then I've got a bottle of water next to me, so I sip away during the day. And sometimes I forget to eat, you know, and it's like late afternoon, and I haven't eaten anything. So, what brought my awareness to was the fact that I always place my coffee on here, and often, you know, I can drink coffee when it's gone cold, so that's not a problem. So sometimes I'm sipping away on that morning coffee, you know, early in the afternoon still. And I know that coffee is a appetite suppressant, but I thought, well, hey, let's go with this whole liquid diet aspect, and because, you know, it's obviously taking any strain on the digestive system, right? To break down and assimilate anything that we're going to eat. And one thing I work with my clients a lot is this aspect that, you know, there's such an emphasis on that I'm allergic or sensitive to something I'm bringing in, right, that I'm eating, when really there's hardly emphasis on perhaps your digestive system's not in a state to break down or assimilate that substance or that food. So it's not really about the food or whatever you're bringing from the outside. It's again about the state or environment that you're providing the body, which includes the digestive system, which again comes back to what I call your momentary process, which is, you know, how you're applying your attention, what you're looking at, what you're focusing on, how you're using your intention. You know, is that coming from the heart, through feel, through knowing, or is that coming out from the mind, through thought mentality? Because that will have a massive difference on the state or environment, which I'm talking about is your field, your energy field, because the body is predetermined by that field, right? So when you've got a nice expansive auric field or electromagnetic field, then the body has everything it needs to heal itself, right? To allow the highest potential for every part of the body to work the way it should do. Right? So then you've got a digestive system that's breaking down and assimilating all the good stuff out of the food. And remember, when you eat food, the physical, visible aspect of that food doesn't sit in the body. It's designed to go in one end and come out the other. And really what the body then takes out of that food is really the unseen energy aspect of the food. Okay. Which we then label as nutrients, right? As vitamins, as minerals, phytonutrients, bioflavonoids, and all these sorts of things. Right? Where science, we make everything more complicated because we give everything labels. But so when you're juicing, right, you're taking all that, you're taking the fiber out of it, and really you're just looking for the medicinal aspect of that fruit, that vegetable that you're going to then juice. Right, so it kind of, you know, gives your digestive system in a way a bit of a a break, right? Take the day off, so to speak. And so I'm doing a bit of juicing now, and I've got my coaster here, and I've just juiced some apples, some green apples, and I've also juiced separately, and I've juiced ginger separately. And this is something I really love to do. You should, if you've never done it, you should do it. And I do these shots, big shot glass, but it's apple juice, and then I've added quite a substantial amount of ginger juice into it. And why I call it, it gives, there's a very much a warming sensation that goes down the throat, right? If you drink ginger juice by itself, it's like drinking straight, it's like whiskey. But I guess people get a high from drinking alcohol, right? But this is getting a high from drinking these shots, which are called apple and ginger shots. I love them. And I love the green apples. Wow, that tingling, warming sensation there. The green apples, because they're tangy. They're not as sweet. I do like that. And I love the ginger. But we're using, we're juicing it all, and then we're putting it on here. Right, we know that then everything that's in here, we are bringing through more of its highest potential, because everything that we perceive as physical in this perceived physical world, right, is energy at its core. It's consciousness, right? So we want to bring through more of that, which, just like as I mentioned, right, when we get our auric field nice and expansive, things tend to flow and work better. Well, we're expanding the energy field of the substance we're then going to put into our body, all right? Which I see as more compatible, right? Because let's say, you're working on your spiritual process, your momentary process, and that's getting a nice expansive field. And as I've always said, our spiritual path is exactly the same path that presents wellness and vitality to the body. They're not separate, they're not different, they're the same path. Is that, if we're expanding our auric field, then we should be, everything we put on our body, in our body, should match that, right? Should be expansive as well, because that's the kind of goal we want, right? We want to provide a state environment that then supports the body to work in its highest potential, right? A nice expansive field. But if we're putting food into our bodies that, let's say, are more processed, which we can just simply say is more disconnected to what it is as an energy or a consciousness, its field's going to be very collapsed, very minimal. And then that is going to result in the body needing to use more of your energy to go ahead, break it down and assimilate and take anything out of it. But more importantly also, to purge it out of your system, because you don't want that sitting in your system for longer than it needs to. Because if we haven't got a nice expansive field and our fields collapse because we're always up here and not in the heart, then our body is going to become sluggish. Right? It's going to be in a state of congestion instead of flow. So whatever we put in our body is going to sit in our body for too long. And that means it's going to accumulate on the body. And that is a path that leads to what we know as toxicity, right? Is when we build up a substance in the body. And as I've said to my clients many times, water, something that is vital to our health, our wellness, our vitality. Even water, if it sits in our body, on our body for too long, it also becomes a toxin to the body, right? So this aspect of flow is so important, because you might believe you're eating the most cleanest diet, but let's say if you're up in the head and you're thinking everything through and you're into mentality, then your field is collapsed, which means even what is believed as beneficial to begin with might be sitting on your body for too long, which then it also becomes another accumulant and also becomes a toxin. Now let's look at an extreme example of toxicity, cancer, right? Now cancer is an extreme amount of a state of accumulation of toxicity in the body, things sitting in the body for too long, right? And then your processes to be able to purge that out of the system, and that's why it is sitting in your system, is impaired, right? But when we go to the conventional means of cancer, they don't take that into account. They don't see it as that, right? Because they see it as, well, mutated cancer cells. You've got a growth which was called a tumor or a tumor, and we need to kill it, right? And whether that be through radiation or chemotherapy or through surgery and removing that, which involves also removing a part of the body was there to have a purpose, to make the body work properly. You are always going to be impaired through either one of those processes. It's not even gonna remove the cause that then becomes the effect of the cancer, but it's gonna have a detrimental effect on you for the rest of your days. That doesn't sound good to me, right? So, and the thing is, when you then go through chemotherapy, right, chemical agents and radiation, right, most of our life we've been told to stay away from chemicals, stay away from radiation, right? Even the things they use for cancer patients are carcinogens to begin with, which mean they create cancer. Now, but as I said, they only create cancer if they sit within the body for too long, right? It's like when we're not eating such a good diet, but if you're in the heart and you've got expansive field, which is supporting a lot of energy flow in the body, you can get away with it because it's transitioning in and out of the body pretty quickly. The body's got all the tools to be able to do what it already knows what to do, because the body does. But the thing is, when you take chemo or radiation or whatever, all these medications, they become another accumulant on that massive list of accumulants you already have that then support more toxicity to the body, which is why you've got cancer to begin with. So anyway, I thought I'd jump on here, have a discussion about this. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm doing this juicing, and I probably will be doing some more experiments in regards to the tensor and light technology products that we make in regards to the juicing as well. But hey, if you haven't seen the experiment I already did on coffee, tap water and spring water, go and check it out. It is on my Facebook feed, but probably a week or two ago, but it's also on my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go and do it. It's truly holistic, because I've got over 550 videos on that channel. So much information that's free for you to access, and it's going to support you, going to help you, it's going to give you insights, wisdom, ideas, whether it's your spiritual path or whether it's just to maintain wellness, vitality, or a return to wellness and vitality. Go and check it out. Anyway, I hope it's a weekend here in New Zealand. It's a Saturday today, so I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Or if it's Friday for you today, I hope impeding next couple of days is a great weekend for you. Till next time, catch you later.